Hello everyone, today we are going to be building the MST TDA Shocks, and I'm super excited for these because the shocks in my car currently, which are the stock ones, are super leaky, so it'll be nice to no longer have leaky shocks and have some nice adjustable shocks as well. So, opening the box and pulling it out, that's what you get. Obviously you get the shocks and whatnot itself. Then kind of behind it, you get a bunch of pieces. Now, all of these pieces aren't used. You know, you have options on what you want. So that's kind of cool. I'll figure that out in a little bit. You know, some more pieces right here. And for these, I actually have the, like, aluminum kind of mounts for that. So I'm going to be using these. And then I believe there's shock oil in here as well underneath the bottom section. So I'm going to grab that too. And yeah, we'll get cracking on building this thing. All right, so first we're gonna build the rods. Obviously you'll need the rod. You're gonna need some of these little clips, 2 of them per rod, and then some of the pistons. Now they do have multiple different kinds with different hole sizes and hole amounts. I'm gonna just use these, and if I'm being honest, I'm not sure which ones have what benefits / drawbacks, so I'm just gonna do these. And we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so these are the ones with the biggest, they're 3 and they have bigger holes than the other ones. So, but yeah, so first we're gonna get one E-clip, we're gonna put it on that bottom rung, then we're gonna put that on, and then we're gonna put that other one on that top rung, and that will kind of hold the piston in place. So this is what it should look like. I used a pliers to kind of help push those on, because they are a bit hard to go on. So I just kind of put the pliers on one end and kind of angled it in a way, and then just kind of pushed it together and then snapped in. So I'm gonna do that to the other 3 now. But yeah, so this is what step 1 is. All right, next we're gonna take these O-rings and we are going to take some oil and soak them in the oil for a little bit. And then from there, we're gonna put them onto here, and we're gonna install this in here as well. So these collars do come on right away when you open the package, but you got to take them off in order to put these O-rings on. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. O-ring, a little oil on them, and then we're going to put these collars on. So I got oil on this one, and then it sits in the little groove up in the top of this collar, and then that's where it's going to go. And then from there, we can put the collar onto here. While you're getting these full of oil, it's probably not a bad idea to soak these ones as well, because you will have to soak these as well, and these will be used in the next step. All right, once you got these installed, we are going to take these and just put them in. Just like so. Let's see if I can get it with one hand. Might be able to. There we go. Oh, yep. All right, and then once those are in, we're gonna take those O-rings, slide them over this, and then these kind of white plastic rod guides, and then those are going to go after. And then after that, it will be these, and then I'll show you guys that too. All right, so yeah, this is what we got. I kind of had the O-ring in there, and I used a small screwdriver to kind of help shove it down into the pocket in there. And then now we're going to go ahead and put on that white piece, and then we're going to put these on right after it, and that's kind of like a cover. So for the white piece, does matter how it goes. So you can kind of see there's like that lip coming out, and that lip coming out goes on the bottom side. So you have the shock right there. Got it looking like this, and then it goes on this way. So just like that. And then we'll go ahead, once that's in, we'll put this on and screw that down right up into there. Once you have that all together, it's not a bad idea. Just check to make sure there's no binding or nothing feels kind of stiff. If it does, you probably have an issue with how your O-ring is seated. But if it feels pretty smooth, you're probably good to go to the next step. So I'm going to get these other 3 done, and then we'll go ahead and continue on with that. All right, once all those are together, you have the options to pick between one of these 2. It's either a 3 or a 1, depending on the ride height. I'm going to go with the 3. But if you want like a lower ride height, maybe go with the 1. And then the directions say you should have a 12.5 millimeter gap between the bottom of this and the bottom of the mount, and I'll kind of show you guys what that means when I have it assembled. So this is kind of what this means. I might set mine to 13, honestly, just like a tiny bit extra ride height, but you can set it to whatever you want. You know, that's kind of how you determine, you know, it's all in the tuning and whatnot of everything. So, but yeah, it asks for 12.5. I might change it. I might stick with it. I'm not sure yet. I'll decide and write it when this clip ends, but yeah, so when I say 12.5, this is what it means. Got all the ends on, and now we are at the part where we fill this bad boy with oil. So I'm gonna put some oil in here, and then after oil's in here, we gotta pump it up and down to get the air bubbles out. And then once you stop kind of seeing air bubbles, I'm gonna let them kind of sit for a while, see if any other air bubbles come out, come back maybe in like 5 or 10 minutes, keep pumping out, make sure I get all the air bubbles out, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, I'm gonna kind of set them up, fill them with the oil, and then pump those air bubbles out. All right, I got them all filled with oil, and I did the pumping. I just finished pumping that one. You can kind of see the bubbles still kind of popping. I'm gonna give it like 5 or 10 minutes. I'm gonna come back, and then I'm gonna pump them again. And then once there's like very minimal or 0 bubbles coming out, then we'll go on to the next step. But yeah, but they're all ready to go. Just waiting on this one. So while we are waiting for these, I'm gonna go ahead and do the next step, which is we're gonna get a little bit of oil on this, and then we're gonna put them on here. See if it focuses. Yeah, I see that little groove. Put the O-rings in there. This is for the adjustable cap. And then we got the adjustable cap kind of, I don't know, base or whatever you want to call it right here. And we'll just kind of pre-assemble this piece. And then once these are done, these will be ready to go on right away. And we keep going on with the project. All right, got these built and these shocks are ready. I kind of pumped them out one more time each and bubbles didn't really come out. So what I'm gonna do is kind of put a little bit more oil in there so it kind of looks like it's about to overflow, but not. And then we're gonna take these, I don't know what you want to call these, like these gasket kind of things. And then we're gonna put them over the top of this. And then these sponges go inside of here, just like that. And then after that, this will go on and this goes over this. So I'll kind of show you guys that. But yeah, we'll go ahead, I'll get started. Oh, also, we gotta, in the instructions, it says to push this up so there's a gap of 4 millimeters between the bottom of this and the bottom of that. So that's what I'm gonna do that as well. And I'll show you guys that too. So I put one together and this is what you kind of do. So you got the little kind of gasket thing. You put this little sponge in there. And then you'll take this. You'll put that on. And then obviously this will all be while it's on the shock. And then you'll take your cap and you'll put the cap over and then tighten it down. Pretty simple. Got the first one built. And yeah, she's working. All that's left is to put on that little bottom piece to hold the spring and then install it on the car. And then I'll cut to that once I got the other 3 built. Got all 4 assembled. And gonna go ahead and clean up kind of my mess, and then we'll go ahead and I'll get these installed in the car. I'll also install these bad boys in the bottom of here as well, which are pretty straightforward. So yeah, go ahead and let's get to that. So I got the front shocks off. Here's my old super leaky ones. Took the springs off and put them on here, and obviously I got the new bottoms on as well. And so because these tops are adjustable, I figured I adjust them up a bit, because why not? And I have them set to 2.2 millimeters from the base right here to the underside of that right there. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and see how that works. Obviously I can change it, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, mount them, and I'm gonna do the same to the back side. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, in between videos, I did carbon, this is the Rev D carbon rod. Looks a lot nicer with the build, and it just yeah, it just looks nicer, looks cleaner rather than the setup I had before. And I also got rid of the high mount battery and got this low mount battery. Move the battery even further back, get more weight in the back. Now kind of mess with the weight distribution with all these weights and whatnot over here as well. But yeah, so a little bit changes here and there. And next video will probably be the CLSD, which I'm super excited for. But I'll get into that in a little bit. And then yeah, go ahead and I'm gonna install these, get the backside on, and then go ahead and kind of test around the spring rate and whatnot with these new shocks. So I got the front and rear shocks mounted. I'm gonna go ahead and put the battery in and do kind of like a finger test for the suspension and see how that feels. And then yeah, I might put softer springs in actually, just because how these are. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna test it out. So, got the battery in, got the body on. Ride height's a little high for my liking. Maybe I'll keep it, maybe I won't. We'll play around with it a bit more. But what I do like is if I take the body off. So, the suspension bottoms out first before the actual chassis. So the chassis can't even rub on the ground if it wants to, which is nice. Let me see if it's like that in the rear too. Oopsies. So, let's see here. Yeah, I think it's like that in the rear too, just barely. Yep, suspension bottoms out just before anything else. So, that's kind of cool to see. But yeah, there we go, that's the install. Just as a note, I only mounted these upside down simply because I just wanted a less chance of it leaking. No other reason other than that. Alright, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Leave them in the comments. And then, yeah, hope you guys have a great day.